What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Rocket Vlogs. Now, this is a little more guerrilla style, traditional vlog style video that I'm going to upload before this weekend. Just to let you guys know that I have not uploaded because I've just been working on one long video that fell apart because of some weather issues. But, basically the Honest John is done and ready to fly. I'm not going to show you too much of that because there will be a video on it. But I figured that I would show you guys a couple cool things. If you saw the live stream, you'll know that the Red Max is now ready to fly. I just have to ground test it, and that'll be flying this weekend. But the big thing is, assuming all goes well and we have the bandwidth, we don't know for sure quite yet, but we are going to prepare it in the case that we are ready. But we are going to prepare the Ultimate Dark Star. This is a Wildman Ultimate Dark Star that is so old. We built this thing in like 2012 and it has never flown once. We have an Aerotech M1550 Redline for it. Yeah, I know it's the side is the bad side from the wrap we bought from Mark from Sticker Shock. It's not his fault, it's our fault on the installation not going well. The wrap is excellent. The installation, not so great. I also make vinyl signs and stuff, and that's why I make it, I don't install it. If I install it, then mess it up, I have to make them a new one for free. If somebody else tries to install it and does it wrong, they have to pay for another one. Good business model for any sign companies in the making out there. Anyway, all we have to do for this thing, Aeropack on, build the electronics bay, and we're going to ground test this guy as well. For those of you that aren't familiar, the Ultimate Dark Star is the biggest version of the Wildman Dark Star that was available at the time. They now have an 8-inch one, the Jumbo Dark Star. But the classic split fin design, you can kind of see it down there. It's about 12 feet tall, 6 inches in diameter, weighs, I don't know, probably 30 pounds, something in that range. And should be pretty good flight on an M motor. Of course, this is all assuming the weather is okay. The weather report is looking frightening. So I'll give you a quick rundown on everything we're going to fly at this launch, assuming it goes well this weekend. I'm just going to upload this so you guys have something to watch, because I feel bad for not uploading for so long over these past few months. It's been between every upload. So we're going to do a quick down and dirty vlog style recount of everything that's happening this weekend, assuming weather permits and we can actually manage to pull this off. So flight number 1, my dad's Rock Street Warehouse Stinger, Mad Cow Stinger. I'm going with Mad Cow Stinger. It is 6 inches in diameter, super heavy because it has a bunch of nose weight. This was his level 3 rocket. Yes, this 4.5 foot tall rocket was his level 3 rocket. Does awesome flights on 4 grain M's because it only goes like 10,000 feet or something like that. Super cool, slow takeoff for such a tiny rocket. It's pretty cool. But he's flying an Aerotech K1000 Blue Thunder, one of my favorite motors ever right now because it's a K, but it's a 75mm Blue Thunder motor, so you get to see it from super close up. And it's just super loud and gnarly, especially in a heavy rocket. It's going to be awesome. Probably only going to go like 5,000 feet. Cool. Ultimate 6-inch Red Max. This is a Performance Hobbies kit from Ken Allen, subject to availability. You're not likely to get a hold of one very easily, and that's all I'll say on that subject. Anyway, you can call Ken and ask, and he might give you a more in-depth version of that story. K780 Redline, or very slight considerations, I have the new K1800 Super Thunder, which again would be super gnarly to see up close. And even though those fins are 3/16 glass and they are stout with the epoxy that I have done, this is old Rocket Vlogs video where I did the internal fillets with chopped carbon. They're really stout, but Red Max fins love to wag, so I'm afraid to push them super hard. The K1800 would honestly be fine. It's such a short burn. I want to put an M in it sometime, but I don't know. Scares me a little bit. Jim Scarpine flew his on an L1256 at Midwest Power though, so that gives me hope. Honest John, the truth-telling Jonathan. All the motors loaded up right there from last or 2 weeks ago when we didn't get to fly because of the weather. Aerotech M650, 2 Aerotech J570s, and 2 Aerotech J350s. Estimated altitude about 8,000 feet, about 11-to-1 takeoff. But with the M likely to come up to pressure a little bit after the J motors, you know, probably still somewhere in that range, but it's going to be very cool because it's going to take off super fast, but that M650 burns for like 9 seconds. So it'll just be a really graceful, perfectly straight, nothing's going to go wrong, hopefully. Boost to 8,000 feet with huge white flame, and if the weather is bad, the backup plan is to pull the M650 out and fly just the J motors, still 10-to-1 thrust to weight at takeoff, and go about 3,000 feet easy on a cloudy day. Rocket is too heavy for just the M by itself, unfortunately. And let's see what else we got here. We can make it upscale weekend. That is my plan. I'll probably take this home with me tonight. Just need to glue the aero pack on. We're going to fly motor deploy i600. Nice and easy. Put some rail buttons on it, as much as I'm really tempted to slide that upscale launch lug over a 1/4-inch rod. There's a million reasons not to do that, and one to do it, which is that I think it's funny. So that's probably not the correct answer to that equation. Bald Mom's Rock, one of the oldest rockets in the collection. This was my dad's level 2 rocket 15 years ago, I believe. And it was also supposed to be his level 3 rocket because the rules used to allow you to do that. He had the motor, and we had a bit of an issue with some delivery for components of it. It was a Cosden M2240, and that motor is sitting right here. So, weather permitting, 10, 12-year-old Cosden motor in an almost 20-year-old rocket. Should go about 15,000 feet. Really cool old motor. If you're pretty new to rocketry, you might not even know what Cosden is. Frank Cosden is a kind of a legend of the rocketry community, an amazing motor manufacturer who just has an interesting past. But we actually have flown a good amount of Cosden motors because one of the few, I think 3 Cosden vendors that were left right before Frank Cosden died was right here in Boise, Idaho. So we got to experience a lot of Cosden motors pretty late in the game when most people were already well past them. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to start building this electronics bay, and then we will just upload this real quick, and hopefully after this coming weekend, that's Memorial Day weekend, I'll have a big awesome video with all the prep for the Honest John and all the flights of all the cool rockets going perfect, and the weather will be perfect and everything will be fine. Let's do that. I don't have a tripod for my phone. We're getting creative. You're in my toolbox. Granger Industrial Supply has these forged quarter 20 eye bolts for like $2.79 a piece. The cheapest I've ever seen any forged eye bolts. Okay, so this is how I do this in every electronics bay to get it where I want it. Okay, there we go. Okay, now get these bad mamma jammas lined up, just like so. And then what I'm trying to shoot for, loosen these guys up a little bit back here. Maybe. Lock washers are already doing their job and fighting me. Okay. So I like to strive for just enough for there to be, I don't know, a quarter inch or so after the nut and a washer's on there. And we're using crush washers, so I'm gonna go up a little bit from there. Okay, so that's where we're gonna lock these guys in place. So I've got these back here finger tight. So we're gonna pull this lid off. Pull this lid off. And then we're going to carefully back these threads off just enough to get some thread locker in there. Hopefully you guys can still see what I'm doing here. Drop some blue thread locker in there. And then do our best to tighten that back up without affecting where the outside nuts are. And get that as tight as we can. And then we're going to tighten down on these crush washers. I'm just going to use an adjustable wrench for this process, for the sake of brevity. Yeah, let's just go ahead and use the crescent end, huh? Now that it's tight. Okay. Okay. Good. Looks pretty good. And then this will be the side that we remove for electronics setup. So this is 3 inches, as is my 5-inch Punisher and the Red Max. I think anything that I can fit a 3-inch wide sled now, or a 3-inch track path at least for a sled. So a 4-inch rocket, I think you could do. It'd be pushing it a hair, obviously, but basically anything 5 inches or bigger, I'm moving forward going to space 3 inches. That way I can just move sleds between rockets easily. And my altimeters, a lot of you guys already know, are all set exactly the same all the time. It's always 1200 main, 800 backup, unless I'm explicitly changing it for a different flight. That way I can just take any sled I have, any rocket that'll fit in, and just go put some charges on it, put it on a pad. Boom, easy. Streamline the system. We need some crescent inside on this one as well. Yeah, just kind of keep it simple, fast, interchangeable. But angle grinders aren't fun to listen to, so I'm sure you guys get the idea. I'm just going to go cut it. Nice. Alright, yeah, that's good. I'm content with that. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, quick update. I'm going to pick up where I'm leaving off now with this, for this full-length video that's coming out. I still got to put some shear pins in this. We're going to double stack a layer of rivets to hold this thing together, just because screwing it in is a little bit of a pain, and it's, you know, because it's a 4-foot upper section tube, so it's not like the Honest John where I can just leave the coupler screwed in and slide it in easily. We did do it with the 12-inch Punisher though, and that's still a pretty long tube up top, so I think that's actually a full 4-foot tube as well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning into an episode of Rocket Vlogs. Don't forget, I do a quarterly Rocket giveaway on Patreon. If you want to be a part of that and check out some behind the scenes content and see all the stuff I got going on and coming up, the projects that haven't been revealed on the channel yet, check out patreon.com/rocketvlogs. You can go to rocketvlogs.com to help support the channel if you'd like to check out the merch over there, or you can do super thanks, super chats during live streaming. And if you don't want to give me any money, that's fine. I'm just glad you're here. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.